the soul of Russia. There's so much in the U.S. that most Americans know nothing about Russia. And yet, the impression of the word Russia in American mind is so strong. But it's so kind of without real information. And a lot of times not as positive as it could be. And so I feel like after my experience in Russia, I'm very interested in changing that attitude or that perception. Because there's plenty of wonderful people, of course, in the whole world, There's good people, bad people, crazy people. But I'm very interested in continuing to come to meet the soul of Russia. It's not what it looks like on the surface. You all look like Europeans to me, but you're not Europeans. And you don't look like Asians, but you are very Asian. Very about nature and the forest and animals, and that's a very, very Asian way of being. We are only part of nature, and the soul of Russia to me is about the soul of Russian nature and the Russians' true connection to nature and spirits, and the soul comes from that. So I'm very excited about being here. It's hard for people to understand how big Russia is, and of course Siberia is the biggest country in the world, or at least the land space is the hugest area. For what people consider the United States, there's Los Angeles, St. Louis, New York, and everything in between. It's so much very city-oriented. But to me, Russia is very much a country, 10 time zones. So much distance. When someone says, oh, it's not far, 600 kilometers, it's like, oh my God, that's a long ways in America, 600 kilometers. And it's a great place for the 21st century because people don't know about it. So much the 20th century, there's so much growing in technology and crazy. So it was the city century. And this century, the 21st century, to me is about the country century. We need to know more about the country. People need to get out of cities and move to the country and experience their own country nature. That's very much, I've always been in favor of the country versus the city. And there was time for city. I don't like living in the city. I'd rather live in the country. So really I believe that Russia is going to be one of the leading countries in this 100 years. Especially geopolitically, very much also the Russian personality in touch with nature, also in touch with spirit and soul. Those things are very necessary for the Western world. And I think Russians already have that. And it's about remembering or making more focus on that part that I'm excited about being a part of, and also to present to the world that way. Very much my nature to, and especially with being sort of a Hollywood celebrity, it makes it easier to talk about things and to present and represent. My role here, I have to say, is very simple. It's to help represent this particular group, Добро.ру, and in association or partnership with a group that I'm involved in, also Russian-based, called Bright Future. It's all about helping people who help people. And that, to me, by my own nature, being Japanese, and also energy of the culture of Hawaii, very much, that's part of my culture anyway. My blood is to help people And if you help people who help people, it makes it a lot easier for the world to change. So that's very much what this particular opportunity is for me. And I always love to just meet people and share that love with them. Aloha, as we say in Hawaii, to share aloha with people.